Hello everybody, welcome to this video which is going to focus on question 5 on paper 2 of the AQA GCSE English language exam. This video is going to focus on the different writing types that you may be asked to write for this question. In the overview video I did, obviously I alluded to the fact that you will be given a specified purpose, audience and form within the question. So the purpose links directly to the different writing types that you are asked to do. Now, the exam board have said that they are allowing themselves to ask you questions where you have to write to explain, write to instruct or advise, write to argue and write to persuade, okay? And what they want to see is that you respond to the information provided and you provide a series of arguments, okay, related to the controversial statement that you've been given, that you can select and organise those arguments in a really clear and organised way. And you can use a range of rhetorical devices. So these are your linguistic features that we talk about when I say read my rules. Your teacher might use something like deforest, okay? So all of these different rhetorical devices. So the questions might start something like this: explain what you think about, argue the case for or against the statement, persuade the writer of the statement that, or advise the reader of the best way to. So any of these types of writing can come up. Essentially, you're being asked to express your point of view on something, okay? So ultimately, you are making it clear to your reader what your point of view is. However, there are slight differences between the different types of writing. So in order to achieve those higher levels for this question, you need to make it clear to the examiner that you understand what you have to do for each of these different types, okay? If you are given a writing to explain, okay, you've got to explain why that is your point of view. So you would list your argument, your reasoning, okay? You need to then explain why, okay? So if you have a writing to explain, you've got to think, why do I feel that way? So using clear and factual language helps make it clear to the examiner that you are writing to explain. So you're thinking about why, what, where or when, so all of those ask questions. So why do you feel that way? Why should the reader support you in that statement, okay? So phrases like, I like this because, okay, obviously that's a very simplistic statement and we want to make our sentences much more interesting than that. But these kind of phrases and making it clear to the examiner why you feel that way links directly with the explanation element of the question. Now, writing to instruct or advise is slightly different in that if you are advising somebody, okay, you're advising your reader, then you're going to use different techniques. So we often use imperative verbs, so these are orders or commands, so stop, look, listen. So all of these different imperative verbs, and making suggestions to your reader, like you should do this because, okay, I feel you should, it's the only way, or you may like to. So what you're doing is you're offering suggestions to your reader, okay, which support and back up what your arguments or point of views are about the statement. Okay, so that's writing to advise. Now, if they ask you to write to argue, then I think personally that's the easiest one because that links directly with writing to express a viewpoint. Essentially, what you're doing is you're influencing the reader to your point of view. Now, you must acknowledge the other point of view as well, and I will go through this in my structuring an argument video. Now, all of these different writing types, you need to make sure that you do acknowledge the other point of view or your counter argument, okay? Writing to argue, you are literally hammering home your point of view, but you're almost kind of belittling the counter argument as you do it, okay? So it's about acknowledging the other side, but making it clear to your reader that yours is the only sensible option. Your point of view is the right one. And writing to persuade is very similar to writing to argue. However, It is more of an unbalanced and emotive view, okay? So you can be more one-sided, you can use more emotive and personal language, okay? So you can be opinionated in writing to persuade. So it's slightly different than writing to argue. So all of these different writing types you can be given by the exam board, okay? But I just want to end this video on this one point, that all of these different writing types, okay, link directly to writing to express a point of view. Essentially, what you have to do is tell the examiner what your point of view is on the statement that you've been given, okay? And then, in order to achieve those higher levels, intricately think about what type of writing they're asking you to do, okay? And if it's right to advise, then you would use those stock phrases about advising your reader. If it's right to explain, you're really thinking about why the reader should feel a certain way, okay? So all of these different writing types, get in your head what the key features of them are, ready for that exam. Okay, if you've got any questions about this video or any of the other videos on my channel, then you can head over to Twitter and follow me at AQA Exams and tweet me those questions. Also head over to my website aquaexams.wordpress.com, where I've got lots of free downloads that you can have a look at. Download all of those for free. Okay, thanks for listening today.